Breaking news, chaos in Turkey. A military group claims to have taken control of the country, shutting down bridges and flying helicopters very low over major cities.
Gunfire has also been heard outside of police headquarters in Istanbul. Airports closed. CNN is reporting the country's president is safe but still has not been seen. For now, Turkey's prime minister is the voice and face of the government, and he's saying the coup is failing.
This story is far from over. We will continue to follow it throughout this newscast and on KBOI2.com, as well as our mobile app.
Like, people pass away basically, because there was no time, there was nothing anybody could do.
Terror strikes again in France, this time on the French Riviera. More than 80 dead and a couple hundred wounded from last night's attack in Nice. Just as Bastille Day celebrations were concluding, a man in a truck plowed through crowds, leaving bloodshed in his wake.
Well, thanks for joining us on this Friday. I'm Natalie Hurst.
And I'm Brent Hunsaker. We have team coverage tonight of the terror attack in Nice. Lauren Clark and Scott Logan are looking at the impact of the attack in the Treasure Valley.
But first, Jonathan Vigliotti looks deeper into the man accused of killing dozens.
Police towed away the truck that brought terror to the streets of Nice.
I seen one guy actually run, sobbing, crying. We seen people holding babies, screaming.
The truck plowed through hundreds of pedestrians who had gathered to watch the Bastille Day fireworks on the city's main promenade. Police killed the driver after he started shooting at them.
He was trying to shoot the police to defend himself. And the police started shooting, and at that time, they pushed me away.
CBS News has confirmed the man behind the wheel was Mohamed Louij Boulel, a 31-year-old French citizen born in Tunisia. He was not on any terror watch list and only had small run-ins with police, including a road rage conviction. Neighbors say the father of three was not a religious man and that he was getting divorced and was recently fired from his job. French President Francois Hollande said dozens of people are in critical condition. Among the victims, an American father and son, 51-year-old Sean Copeland and 11-year-old Brody from the Austin, Texas area. The mile-long section of the promenade where the attack happened is closed and will likely remain shut down into Saturday. President Obama spoke about the deadly attack from the White House.
It's not just the United States of America, but the entire world that stands in solidarity with the people of France during this difficult time.
There will be vigils and rallies held throughout the weekend as France marks 3 days of national mourning beginning tomorrow. Jonathan Vigliotti, CBS News, Nice, France.
Hearts are broken across the world and right here in the Treasure Valley. Members of the Boise French Alliance gathered to celebrate Bastille Day, the French Independence Day, but the mood shifted to mourning after the attack. Still, spirits will remain high.
We don't want to let that stop our celebration, stop our life, stop everything, because then this crazy man wins.
This is the third deadly terrorist attack in France since early last year. The attack in Nice is the latest in a shocking string of violent incidents that have taken place abroad and here in the U.S.
Yeah, Paris, Brussels, Baghdad, Orlando, Dallas. It seems like we can't turn on the TV or turn to social media without being bombarded by graphic images of senseless violence.
Scott Logan has been looking into what this mass exposure does to us psychologically. He joins us now in the newsroom.
Experts say constant exposure to graphic violence and negative news can cause people to become emotionally distressed, or on the other extreme, show little emotion at all because they are becoming accustomed to what they see. Perhaps the slaughter of innocents has never been so extensively documented and recorded or so widely seen as in our age of cell phones, social media, and 24-hour news cycles.
It's demoralizing. It kind of makes us wonder what in the hell is going on in the world.
It obviously, I'm sure, makes people nervous. I mean, you know, it could be here just as easily as it could be there.
Very sad, very discouraged. Almost hate to watch the news anymore.
Psychologist Stephen Hill says it's difficult to make sense of it all, and the constant drumbeat of violence on our big and small screens can actually lead to depression.
But often it at first is more like a sense of numbness, not being able to enjoy your normal things the way you used to, a real sense of fatigue perhaps. There's this grief for what's going on, but also a sense of not much that you could do to help or least of all to prevent it.
Andhill says people may even react by taking the horror for granted, by not being shocked or surprised by it.
When the events come so close back to back and are so horrific, as a way of just protecting ourselves, kind of wanting to not give it as much attention as it maybe deserves.
Experts say the simplest technique to fight the impact of negative news is to take a break from it, and parents should check in and stay connected with their children, providing comfort if the kids are worried. Live in the newsroom, Scott Logan, KBOI 2 News.
Now, as Scott just told us, with all of these international headlines, big events with big crowds can be a concern.
With the annual Twilight Criterium tomorrow, Boise police say they do have a plan to keep you safe. Lauren Clark explains she's live. She's at the State House.
Brett and Natalie, I am right outside here where racers are expected to finish for Boise's annual Twilight Criterium race. Now, organizers say up to 20,000 people could attend, but if that big number concerns you, don't worry. Boise police say that they have a plan. The eve of the Twilight Criterium, Boise is getting ready for one of the biggest bike races of the year. From setting up 10 stations to street safety precautions, it takes a lot of manpower to host this giant event. But among the to-do list items this year are safety plans. The Boise police has confirmed that it does have a procedure in place, and their biggest weapon, you.
We should enjoy the event tomorrow night. People should go down, have a good time, bring your families down there, but also, just like we do anytime we do something in the evenings, go with friends, pay attention to your surroundings, and if you see something, say something.
Boise police say they've had this game plan in place for a while, but the latest attack in France is even more reason to be aware of your surroundings. Now, here's one way you can help police. If you see something suspicious, keep an eye out for it. And if you become uneasy, be sure to alert an officer. Live at the State House, Lauren Clark, KBOI 2 News.
For continuing coverage of the Nice attacks, we'll have an update at the bottom of this hour, as well as on KBOI 2 News at 5:30, 9, and 10. The latest information is always available on our website, kboi2.com. And don't forget to follow us on social media and download our mobile app.